All right, so here's my 1993 Ford EconoLine. Extended roof van. This was originally purchased by the Evergreen School District in 1993. I'm the second owner. I bought it in 2022, and here's the inside. So the nice thing is it's not a sliding side door. I added some insulation and a piece of 1/2-inch plywood right there. And then I did the same thing over here. You can see there's the refrigerator. We'll go in here and take a quick little tour. All right, so this is a, let me modify this a little bit. This is a Camco Olympian Wave 8 catalytic propane heater. It works really well now that I've completely insulated the entire van, and I put it on some rails, some drawer rails, so it just slides in and out. I got my little bracket here that holds it in place when I'm driving down the road. I don't know if you noticed, but there's 2 nickels that are actually wedged in here. This is a little bit loose, and when I was driving down the road it would rattle, so I shoved those in there and that fixed the problem. Here's the electrical system that I designed. So it's a little dark, but this is a Victron Energy Multiplus. It's a pretty high-end charger inverter, and I've got 2 Power Queen 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate batteries, and then that thing right there says Sterling on it. That's a battery to battery charger, because the charging profile straight off the alternator is not ideal for lithium iron phosphate batteries. They're designed for a wet cell battery, so that basically takes the incoming charging profile, the voltage essentially, and changes it into what the lithium iron phosphate batteries need. Then I've got some 4-aught cables you can see on the negative here. These are wired, the batteries are wired in parallel, so I've got a 12-volt system with 200 amp hours of reserve capacity. This right here is a circuit breaker for the DC fuse box up top. This is the main, I think a 400 amp, maybe 800, I can't remember. I think it's a 400 amp fuse for the whole system. There's the main disconnect switch. It's on. That then feeds over to this bus bar, and from there you've got the power that goes into the Victron Energy Multiplus. And then, so you've got your DC here, that's your reserve capacity. It feeds into the Multiplus, which then converts the DC to AC. So the output from, I think it's right there if I remember correctly, goes down, out, and then up top to right there. So this is a Blue Sea 120 volt, well, as you can see, 120 volt AC distribution panel. So I wired it up the first time, had 0 problems, no magic smoke was let out of the wires. That was kind of nice. Next to that is a Victron Energy battery monitor. So this will remotely show me what the charge state of the battery is. Right now it's on percentage, so my batteries are at 70.8%. Well, doesn't look like it's gonna work on the, you can kind of see it. Anyways, it's kind of hard to read, but I think that says, yeah, 78.1 amp hours. There's 555 watts coming in from the alternator right now, 40.9 amps, 41 amps. And the battery voltage in the lithium iron phosphate batteries is 13.6. Okay, and then this is a Blue Sea DC fuse panel as well. Basically power comes off the batteries, off that circuit breaker that I mentioned earlier, comes into positive here, negative here, and then it energizes the positives, grounds the negatives, and that goes and feeds the 12 volt loads. I've got a single receptacle here, it's fed off the 120 volt panel. I've got that switch right there is the switch for the 12 volt water pump, which I'll show you in a minute. This is a 1-inch DecoGuard backsplash that I built. This is actually a piece of fall off my dad had from a project like 30 years ago. He's had kicking around his shop for quite a while, and he gave it to me. So I thought this would work perfect for this situation, and it did. So I'm gonna come back a little bit here. So this is the countertop. I basically took a piece of 3/4 inch plywood and stained and polyurethaned it. I've got a little cubby hole right here for various storage. This is this right here is pretty much kitchen stuff. Down here, I've got my home-built propane tank holder, and it seems to work really well. I'm really pleased with it. I have zero issues with it. Okay, so let me close that up. You can see over here, there will be an air conditioner that goes in here. You can see I've already cut out the slot for it, but since it's January, I really don't need it. Let's see, what do we got down here? A teapot and a couple of pans. So the white hoses, those are a cold water supply and a hot water output, I guess you could call it, for the on-demand propane hot water heater, which is right there. You can see that black hose behind the two white hoses. That's the actual propane line from the tank. The three hoses on the wall, one of those is the supply from the tank, and then the other two are out to various things. So we'll come out here, right here. This is a Greystone microwave gas cooktop combo cooking unit. It's actually, I got a little popcorn popper in there right now, but I just let that right around in there when I'm driving. It's actually a really nice unit. It's the only thing that I found that had both the gas cooktop and the microwave. I don't know if you guys have ever used a propane stove in an RV, but they're basically useless. You really can't, they're too small to put anything in other than maybe like a personal Totino's pizza or something, and I don't eat those, so I wanted a microwave and a gas cooktop, and I was able to find one. So anyways, over here we've got a full-sized kitchen sink. It's got 3 additional accessories that came with it. You can see it's kind of got a stepped lip here. So I've got my Brita filter here. So it's got a cutting board right here, as you can see. I put that to the side. It's got a, I think this is for sponges and things to drain. It's got a drying dish rack. In fact, I could actually put these right here. Yeah, so anyways, let's put this back together here. I've got a little towel holder right here to hold my hand towel, a couple of Simple Green and Febreze spray. What else? Oh, well, let's see here. Turn that on. This is actually the real deal. So I've got the full-on kitchen sink slash whatever sink. You know, cook food, wash my face in the morning, whatever I need to do. So back here, this is just an extra propane tank I'm taking to fill up today. There's the toilet, obviously, garbage can, a little bit of storage for the various insulation that I'll be putting on the windows at night when I'm sleeping. I stuffed a bunch of insulation in the doors. It's kind of hard to see, but there's insulation back there as well. This is actually a cover for a fifth wheel we used to have, and you know, it's not ideal, but it's better than nothing, so I threw it up there. Figured it'd help a little bit with the heat loss in the evenings. Here's my bed. As you can see, I think it's 30 inches wide. I can't remember now. It's been a while since I put it all together. But it's kind of a hassle to lift up and show you the storage underneath. But there is a lot of storage. Most of it's taken up by water. I've got, I think, 4 6-gallon, I think it's 4 6-gallon water jugs in there. And I should have water for quite a while. Speaking of water, so the bottle on the right here is my 6-gallon supply water, and the one on the left is the drain. So basically you've got the pump right here that pumps water out of the water bottle, goes into the system depending on hot or cold, whatever you're selecting with the faucet, and then once you use the sink and the water drains out, it drains into this thing here, kind of loops up and around and down, and bam, back into the drain tank or bottle, whatever you want to call it. You can kind of see back here, right there, that's the propane that's the propane regulator specifically, and beneath that there's a propane manifold. So you've got the propane that comes in here from the tank, is depressurized through the manifold, through the regulator, and then comes into the manifold and then distributes out to the gas cooktop, the heater, and the, what's the third thing I have? The water heater. So, yeah. I've also got this Visani, I think it's a 5.5 cubic foot refrigerator. I can't remember off the top of my head. We've had it for years. I really don't have very much food in here right now, but that's actually pretty much the last step I have to get this van ready to take out on the road to go work. Is getting it loaded up with food. Got a little bit of storage up here for whatever. Got a knife kit there, and it's attached. I bolted it on with a bracket right there. And then I think that's pretty much it. This is a fan. In the event, I was thinking during the summer, if the batteries or the battery charger or the inverter get too hot, I designed this in such a way that back here, going through the cabinet here, you can't see it, but basically it draws in air from this. Let me see if I can get a little better. It draws air in from this space through the Victron inverter and then out through the fan. So the thought was, if it gets hot during the summer, it'd be able to circulate a little bit of air and cool down the batteries or the inverter or the battery charger. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can see that the passenger seat is backwards, and the reason I did that was because well, obviously it was facing forward like most vans do, and this really isn't that large of a van. I want to say it's actually the shorter wheelbase of the EconoLine series that were made 30 years ago. But anyways, I really don't have space for an actual proper chair. I mean, I could probably find something, but rather than doing that, I just decided, actually my wife came up with the idea of turning this around, and I will be able to use it to sit in and read at night, or, you know, watch a YouTube video or whatever. And trying to think, oh yeah, so we've got some storage up here. Actually, let me turn on my light right here. So there's nothing in this side right now, but there's, I don't know, plenty of storage for cans and of food and whatever else I might want to put in there. Close that side, and then over here, this is well, half essentially of my storage up here, and I've got some food and tea and, you know, toiletries and whatnot. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Some spices and dishes and things like that. And I think that's pretty much all there is to tell. I've got a gimbal fan right there that helps with air circulation. I've got a reading light back there that's kind of curved up. I've got a second reading light right here. I figured if I wanted to, if I end up buying a chair or something and I'm sitting at this counter / workbench, then I'll have, if I'm doing a project or something, I'll have some extra light. Although these 10 lights I have in here, really, I forget the exact wattage. I can't remember. It's been too many years since I put this all together, but it's, well, let me show you. When you turn this on all the way, okay, that's going down, and here we go. So that's full brightness. It's really bright. Like, I don't really probably need any more light here, but, well, if I do, I've got it. And then I think that's pretty much it. Oh, there is a max air fan behind that pad that actually moves a shit ton of air. So if I'm cooking, or if I need some kind of ventilation or air movement, then that thing will definitely fit the bill. I think that's pretty much all there is to share. You might hear kind of a whine. That is the battery-to-battery charger fan. And it's a little bit noisy, but it's only when it's running. So anyways, that is EconoLonnie. I don't think there's much more to share. If anybody has any questions or anything, post a comment up and I will do my best to answer. But thanks for watching. Have a good one.